Put your hand on your chest. Feel that? That's a heartbeat. That's a real, biological, irreplaceable human being sitting in that chair. Now look at what that human being has been doing for the last 4 hours. Scrolling, tapping, refreshing, watching strangers live their lives while yours quietly drains out of you like a bathtub with the plug pulled. And the scary part isn't that you're doing it. The scary part is that you don't even feel it happening. Here's what nobody tells you about your phone. It's not making you dumb. That's too simple. Too easy to dismiss. What it's actually doing is far worse. It's making you less human. Quietly, consistently, every single day. And I'm going to prove it to you. Let's start with something small. When's the last time you were bored? Not, I'm gonna grab my phone bored. Actually, genuinely sitting with nothing bored. You can't remember, can you? Because the second your brain produces even a hint of discomfort, a cue, a red light, a slow 30 seconds, you reach. You don't even decide to reach. Your hand just moves. It's automatic now. That reflex, that's not convenience. That's addiction wearing a slim case. And boredom isn't the enemy here. Boredom is actually where humans think. Where we problem solve. Where we get creative. Where we figure out who we are. Your greatest ideas were never going to come from a For You page. They were going to come from a Tuesday afternoon where you had nothing to do and your brain had no choice but to go to work. You've been skipping that. Every single day. Now let's go deeper. Think about the last real conversation you had. Not texting. Not voice notes. An actual face-to-face conversation where you had to read someone's expression. Feel the silence. Figure out what they actually meant versus what they said. How long did that last before someone checked their phone? How long before you checked yours? We are losing the ability to sit across from another human being and be fully present with them. And we're losing it so fast that most people don't even realize it's a skill anymore. Eye contact used to be natural. Now it's awkward. Silence used to be comfortable. Now it's unbearable. Listening, real listening, where you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. That used to be the baseline. Now it's a personality trait people brag about. We are regressing. And we don't even notice because everyone around us is doing it too. But here's where it gets really uncomfortable. You've been outsourcing your inner life to an algorithm. What makes you laugh? A machine decided that. What makes you angry? A machine curated that. What you find attractive. What music you like. What opinions you hold about the world. How much of that is actually you, and how much of it is just the sum of what 3,000 videos fed you over the last 2 years. You think you have a personality, but have you actually built one? Or have you just absorbed one? Because there's a difference between a person who developed opinions through real experience, through reading and traveling and failing and talking to interesting people, and a person who just has strong takes because the algorithm kept serving them content until they agreed with it. One of those people is interesting, textured, worth talking to. The other one is a mirror pointed at a server farm. I want you to imagine something. You meet someone. They're magnetic. Instantly. You can feel it. They ask you questions and actually wait for your answers. They don't check their phone once. When they talk, it's specific and strange and they reference books, not tweets. They have opinions they arrived at slowly through actual thought. You walk away from that conversation feeling like you just met someone real. Now I want you to ask yourself honestly, when is the last time someone walked away from you feeling like that? When is the last time you were the most interesting person in a conversation? Not because you had the best take you saw online, but because you actually had something in you that came from you. A lot of you can't answer that. And you know it. And look, I'm not saying your phone is evil. I'm not going to stand here and tell you to throw it in a lake and go live in the woods. But I am telling you that there is a version of you that doesn't exist yet. A version of you that can hold a conversation without fidgeting. That can sit with discomfort long enough to actually think something through. That has depth because they've spent time with their own thoughts. That people genuinely want to be around. Not because they're funny online, but because they're present in real life. That person is being suffocated right now. Slowly. By the thing in your pocket. Here's the truth that nobody in tech wants you to hear. Every app on that phone was engineered by rooms full of the smartest people in the world to make you worse at being bored. Because a person who can tolerate boredom doesn't need an app. A person who can sit with silence doesn't need notifications. A person who is connected to their own thoughts doesn't need a feed to tell them what to think. They need you dependent, not happy, dependent, and it's working. The average person will spend somewhere between 7 and 10 years of their total life staring at a phone screen. 7 years. Gone. Not building. Not connecting. Not creating. Not becoming anyone. Just consuming. And while you were gone, the interesting people, the ones you low-key envy, the ones whose lives look different, they were somewhere quiet. Reading. Thinking. Building things. Having awkward conversations that eventually became real ones. Getting good at something real. Becoming someone with actual substance. The most dangerous thing your phone does isn't distract you. It's convince you that you're living while you're actually standing completely still. Every like, every view, every moment of digital entertainment. It has weight. It has warmth. It feels like something happened. Your brain registers it as experience. But it's not experience. It's the simulation of experience. And you're trading the real thing for the fake one. Every single day. Without even noticing. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Not forever. Not dramatically. Just put it down. For an hour. Then 2. Then a morning. And in that space, in that silence that's going to feel absolutely horrible at first, pay attention to what comes up. Because that's you. The unfiltered, unoptimized, bored and uncomfortable you. That's the person you've been neglecting. That's the person who has things to say, things to build, people to actually connect with. That person doesn't need more content. They need air. Give them some. Put the phone down. And go find out who you actually are.